What's up, DC Natives, back to another video, and guys, this is actually a pretty special video because this is actually the first episode in a new series that I'm starting this channel. And guys, this new series, as you saw in the intro, is Batman the Animated Series Recap Reviews. Now, I actually want to do reactions to this show, but I didn't really want to do like a rewatch because I've already watched like pretty much every episode of the show. So doing a rewatch for me is just kind of boring. I'd rather actually dive deep into the episodes. And guys, you're probably like, wait, but isn't there a bunch of DC content out right now? What gives you time to do this? Well, I decided to do this because, one, I love this show. It's one of the best DC animated shows, actually one of the best animated shows in general of all time. And for some reason, every week, the Batman the Animated Series, or BTAS, I'm just going to call it BTAS for short, comes up in discussion with you guys every week, alright? In one of the videos, I'm always like pretty much discussing the comment section with you guys about a certain episode, or something about Batman the Animated Series. Oh, it's an Easter egg in a comic book. So it's that big. Like, it always impacts every corner of the DC universe, and it's always remembered by DC fans, and remembered by you guys and me, myself. So I want to just talk about it. And guys, probably wondering, wait, so why did you choose Almost Got Him? Now, that's the episode we're going over today, and for me, in my opinion, it's the best episode of the entire series. But aside from that fact, the reason I chose this episode for this pretty much to go over first out of all the 85 episodes in this entire series is because we actually did a vote. Now, I pretty much unlocked the community tab after I reached 1,000 subscribers, and if you guys are following it, then you notice I've been posting a lot of stuff on there. Not only notifications for new videos, but also daily news, but most importantly for this video, is pretty much a week and a half ago, I pretty much did polls on asking you guys your favorite episode from Batman the Animated Series. Now, I did a couple polls, but it pretty much came down to this episode, Almost Got Him, and pretty much Beware the Great Ghost. And you guys voted Almost Got Him won. So that's the episode I'm going over first, and that means that Beware the Grey Ghost will be the episode I'm going over next week. So I'm going to be going over an episode each week to just get that nostalgic feel and just go over one of the best DC shows of all time. I love this show. So guys, diving in, this episode, if you haven't watched it, spoilers, alright? Big spoilers. I know it's a show that came out way long time ago, so you probably already seen it, but if you haven't, I don't really want to spoil this episode. Like, that'd be really mean. If you haven't seen it, I spoiled one of the best episodes from the series. Actually, in my opinion, the best episode. But guys, at the start of this episode, what we see is pretty much out of place. We see different Batman villains. We see Joker, voiced by Mark Hamill, which, great, guys. You know, okay, Mark Hamill is one of the best, he's the best guy to voice Joker, and this is one of the best Jokers of all time. But we see Joker, we see Killer Croc, we see Penguin, we see Two-Face. They're all in like pretty much a circle, and they're just dealing hands, right? And guys, this episode is written by Paul Dini. Paul Dini is pretty much written by like almost every episode of this entire series. He's a great writer at DC Comics, and he's known for BTAS. But guys, going forward, what happens is they're all talking. Killer Croc, we see he's a little dumb, like he's really behind pretty much what they're talking about. Penguin's talking, and they're just dealing cards, right? And that's when Poison Ivy shows up. Poison Ivy trips Killer Croc, and she actually talks to the Two-Face. We find out they actually used to date, which I thought that was actually a little cool nod. But what it comes down to is they all talk about how they almost got Batman. Now, that can mean different reasons. Almost killed him, almost unmasked him, almost pretty much kidnapped him, any type of reason, right? But pretty much they tell different stories. And it starts with Poison Ivy. Now, Poison Ivy, she pretty much hit with pumpkin patches, hit with poison. It was actually close to unmasking him, but that's when Batman uses Batmobile and just ran pretty much, she actually jumped up to a thing, but it ran through like this one construct and got taken in by Batman. So her story wasn't as close. Like, yeah, technically she almost got Batman, but compared to all the other stories in this episode, her almost got him story is not really close, actually. Like, she barely, okay, she kind of poisoned Batman and almost unmasked him, but wasn't close enough. Now, the next story is Two-Face. Now, I really love this story, right? Poison Ivy is cool, but it's very quick. But Two-Face, we find out the origin of the whole coin that's in the Batcave, the big coin. You know, the one that we're literally seeing in the pretty much entirety of the show, in other DC animated shows, and in actually DC movies. So what we see here is Two-Face actually kidnapped Batman and actually pretty much strapped him up to this coin, and was pretty much gonna flip his coin. Two-Face always decides by the coin. If you guys know his character, which I love Two-Face, one of the best Batman villains, and his whole pretty much his plan is to flip the coin. If it lands on pretty much the X, pretty much on the one side of death, then that means to pretty much land this big block to top of this thing, pretty much how Batman goes swinging with his coin, and this coin will pretty much smash him once it hits the ground. But as he goes to flip that coin, he doesn't have it with him. Batman actually stole it because, guys, before this, Two-Face actually took his utility belt away from him, so Batman doesn't have all his gadgets. So you think he's pretty much helpless, right? But no, he uses this coin to get out. He gets out of there, beats Two-Face, and now he has a coin to add to his collection and all his souvenirs in his Batcave. So that was pretty cool. Now, Killer Croc just literally says,
"I threw a rock at him."
And Joker, all the villains look at him like, you're dumb, you're a dumb villain. Which Killer Croc actually like him, but as he's pretty much shown this episode, the twist at the end that we'll get to soon, it makes sense, alright? But we see Penguin. Penguin's story is that Batman pretty much went out after him. They went inside this, like, one big birdhouse, and Penguin used, like, this poison to try to get Batman. Then one of his, like, birds tried to scratch him, kill Batman, but Batman took down this bird and actually went after Penguin, but Penguin got away. But Batman barely got out of it. He actually almost got killed. So that was actually kind of a closer almost got him than the other stories. Now, we get to the final one, which is Joker's, which is obviously the best. He's the best Batman villain, and actually probably the best villain of all time, in my opinion. But what we see is we have Joker, he kidnapped Batman, he's actually on like pretty much an electric chair, and this electric chair is pretty much determined by laughs. Now it has like a laughs meter, and how much people are laughing, it pretty much ups that meter. And as that meter ups, Batman's head gets more electrocuted, so he pretty much slowly dies. Now what Joker does, he goes to a late night show, one of the biggest shows in Gotham, and he pretty much puts laughing gas in that place, and all these people just start laughing. And Batman's slowly dying, but that's when Catwoman showed up, saved him, and there's actually Harley there too, which Harley has some great lines too, Joker has great lines. But what happened was Harley actually kidnapped Catwoman, and actually has Catwoman in one place in Gotham, is actually going to cut her to pieces and send it to Batman the next morning. That's what Joker's plans. To pretty much, alright Batman, you got away, but we're going to send the person who saved you, pretty much they're going to be cut in pieces dead. Which is pretty dark, but at the same time it makes sense for the Joker to do that. Because that pretty much will spark their rivalry a little more, and then we'll have a big showdown between Joker and Batman. But that's not what actually happens. Turns out Killer Croc in this place is actually Batman. And I love the scene when it gets revealed. You see pretty much Killer Croc throw Joker across the table. Joker's like, what did I say? And you see pretty much the shadow go from Killer Croc to Batman. And they all like, oh, imposture. They point their guns at him, and they're like, you're not getting out of here, Bats. But it turns out all around them is GCPD. You see Commissioner Gordon, Bullock, and they pretty much capture all these villains. And Batman says, alright, you guys almost got me, and you always have your plans, but I have plans for myself. Pretty much Batman always plans for everything. He plans better than these villains. But we see all of them get captured, and now we get to the final part of this episode. Batman goes to save Catwoman. It's actually pretty easy. He beats Harley, saves Catwoman. At the end of the episode, Catwoman's actually talking with Batman and saying, hey, we have a real life. Let's go and unmask him. But then he pulls the old Commissioner Gordon trick where she looks away, and when she looks back, Batman is gone. And she pretty much says the final line, almost got him. And it just wraps the episode up so well. The animation of this episode is so good. The whole writing, the twisted turns, the actual stories are just really cool. And it's impressive how laid out this episode is. Like, so much happens in this episode, and it's only 22 minutes. So I say it's the best episode of the entire series. I think it's a masterpiece, 10 out of 10. Now, I'll pretty much give a rating for each episode that I go over in this entire series. But this is an episode that if you're recommending to a friend, hey, check out Batman the Animated Series, this is the first episode you want to show, alright? Because this episode just shows all the different villains, and you have Mark Hamill as Joker, you have so many great lines, and it's just laid out so well, and it's paced so well, too. And, by the way, the animation for this show to be so old looks so good, alright? But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my thoughts on this episode. I really like it, and constant look, tell me about this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? I'm pretty sure you didn't hate it. Like, I'd be surprised if anybody hated this episode. But tell me your favorite story from this episode. We got Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Penguin, Jokers, and tell me pretty much your favorite episode from this entire series. And by the way, if you didn't catch it at the beginning of this video, the next episode I'll be going over next week is Beware the Grey Ghost. So stay tuned. But guys, what I'll also be doing in these episodes of this BTAS recap is actually tell you guys the DC Comics that are coming up this next week. So let's get into that. Now, starting off with new releases for this week, we got Batman number 95, and pretty much we see James Tynion go into the final showdown between Batman and the Joker. Now, this pretty much issue will be drawn by George Jimenez, one of the best DC artists of all time, and it's Joker War Part 1, so you definitely not want to miss out on this one. But guys, next we got a Joker War tie-in, which is Batgirl number 47, and Joker and Batgirl meet up, and it's to be a devastating chapter in the whole Joker War saga, alright? But guys, next we have another Joker War tie-in, which is Detective Comics number 1024, which this Joker War tie-in actually spells the end of Two-Face's story. How it will end, we don't know, but we'll pretty much see a final showdown between Batman, Two-Face, and Linky in March. Now, next is actually not a Joker War tie-in, it's actually Flash number 758, and in this issue, it's Legion of Doom Part 2, and we see Flash go against his two children from the future. Now guys, starting off the more smaller releases of this week, we got Shazam number 13, which sees Shazam and the Marvel family go against Superboy Prime. Yes, Superboy Prime from Infinite Crisis is back. Don't miss out on this one. But yes, also we got Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity, Secret Files number 1. Now we have Harley Quinzel. She actually investigates two different murderers, different psychopaths, Joker and the new psychopath who's pretty much terrorizing Gotham City. Where this story will go, we don't know, but it could be a wild card this week. We also got Justice Dark number 24, which pretty much sees Zatanna, Swamp Thing, and Wonder Woman go to the other place to face down the Upside Down Man. I guess as we know, the Upside Down Man has been a big character and a really cool villain, so we'll see how this pretty much story plays out. Now the final comic coming out this week got Batman Beyond number 45, we see Terry McGinnis, aka Batman Beyond, team up with Damian Wayne, aka Robin, to take down Mr. Zero. It's a pretty cool issue, and it will have great art in it as well. But guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode of the pretty much BTAS recap, and I had a great time going over this. Almost got it was a great episode, and I'd like to know all you guys' thoughts. But guys, like the video, give a big thumbs up to the channel, make sure to subscribe to my next BTAS recap review, and yeah guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.